The episode 6 trailer feels wild because it moves fast but says a lot without explaining anything. The first thing that stands out is the darker mood. The music is heavier, the colors are colder, and every shot feels tense. This is not the show setting things up anymore. This is the show pulling the trigger. We see characters moving with fear instead of hope, and that alone tells us something has already gone wrong. The Wasteland no longer feels like a place you can survive by luck. It feels like a place that is hunting everyone inside it. The trailer also focuses less on jokes and more on silence. Long looks, slow turns, and faces that seem already defeated. That tells us episode 6 is emotional, not just violent. Someone has learned a truth they were never meant to know, and that truth is pushing the story forward at full speed. This is the kind of episode where past choices come back to punish people. Nothing feels random here. Every explosion, every chase, every stare feels planned. The trailer wants us to feel uncomfortable because comfort is gone. Fallout is reminding us that survival always comes with a price. And episode 6 looks like the moment that Bill is finally due. What makes this trailer even more intense is how it frames danger. Instead of showing clear villains, it shows confusion. Characters are running, hiding, and turning on each other. But we are not told why. That creates fear because the threat feels bigger than one person. It feels like the world itself is collapsing again. The trailer hints that a safe place may no longer be safe. Doors are closing, alarms are ringing, and weapons are raised in places that once felt protected. This suggests betrayal or a massive mistake. Someone trusted the wrong person, or someone kept a secret for too long. Episode 6 looks like the fallout of that choice. The editing jumps quickly between locations, which makes it feel like events are happening at the same time. That usually means chaos. When stories do this, it means characters are losing control. Plans are failing. Help is not coming. The trailer also shows damage that looks fresh, not old. This is not leftover destruction from the past. This is new. Damage being created right now. Episode 6 is not about surviving the old world. It is about surviving what the characters are doing to each other in the present. The emotional weight of the trailer comes from the faces. You can see fear, anger, and regret without a single word being said. One character looks like they finally understand what kind of world they are in, and that moment alone can change everything. Another looks ready to do something they cannot take back. Episode 6 feels like the moment where people stop pretending they are good. Survival pushes them to show who they really are. The trailer does not show long fights, which is important. It shows the moments right before violence. That means the episode is more about decisions than action. The tension comes from waiting to see who will cross the line first. Fallout has always been about choice. And this trailer makes it clear that episode 6 is built around one massive choice. Once it is made, the season cannot go back. Relationships will break, trust will be gone, and the path forward will be darker than ever. By the end of the trailer, one thing is clear. Episode 6 is not a filler episode. It is a turning point. The season before this episode feels like a slow build towards something ugly, and this is where it finally explodes. The trailer wants the audience to feel nervous, excited, and scared at the same time. That is why it feels wild. It promises consequences, not just action. After episode 6, the world of Fallout will not feel the same. The Wasteland will feel smaller, more dangerous, and more personal. This is the episode where survival stops being about luck and starts being about sacrifice. And once that sacrifice is made, there is no undo button. Episode 6 feels dangerous because the trailer shows fear spreading faster than violence. Instead of one clear enemy, the threat feels everywhere at the same time. People are not just running from someone, they are running from what they now understand. The Wasteland suddenly feels smaller, like there is no place left to hide. When Characters look over their shoulders. It does not feel like habit anymore. It feels like panic. That shift matters because it tells us the rules have changed. Before, survival was about moving smart and staying quiet. Now survival looks like a race against time. Something has been set in motion, and no one can slow it down. The trailer keeps cutting away before answers appear, which makes the danger feel bigger. When stories do that, it means the truth is worse than what they are showing. Another powerful detail is how safety is framed. Places that once felt calm now feel tense and unstable. Doors slam shut, lights flicker, and people grip weapons in spaces that were meant to protect them. This suggests a betrayal or a massive mistake that exposed everyone. Someone trusted the wrong system, the wrong person, or the wrong idea. Episode 6 looks like the moment when that trust collapses. When trust dies in the wasteland, chaos always follows. The trailer shows quick shots of arguments and standoffs, hinting that people are no longer on the same side. Survival is turning into isolation. Everyone is thinking about themselves first, and that makes every choice more dangerous. The pacing of the trailer also tells a story. Events seem to be happening all at once in different places. This usually means the characters are reacting instead of planning. When people stop planning, mistakes happen. Episode 6 feels like a chain reaction. One problem triggers another, and soon everything is out of control. The damage we see looks new, not left over from the past. That means this episode is creating scars that will stay for the rest of the season. Fallout is not just showing destruction for style. It is showing consequences being born in real time. What truly raises the tension is the lack of clear direction. No one in the trailer looks confident. No one looks like they know the right move. That is scary because leadership matters in a broken world. When leaders hesitate or hide information, people panic. Episode 6 seems to live in that panic. Characters hesitate before speaking, hesitate before pulling triggers, and hesitate before trusting each other. Those pauses are loud. They tell us that whatever choice comes next will cost something heavy. The Wasteland does not forgive hesitation. There's also a feeling of inevitability running through the trailer. It feels like events are already locked in place. Even if someone wanted to stop what is coming, it may already be too late. This creates emotional pressure. Characters are not just fighting enemies, they are fighting regret. Regret for things they ignored, truths they avoided, and warnings they did not listen to. Episode 6 looks like the moment those regrets finally catch up. The trailer does not promise victory. It promises survival at best. By focusing on confusion instead of answers, the trailer prepares the audience for loss. Loss of safety, loss of trust, and possibly loss of life. This is why episode 6 feels so heavy. It is not about a big reveal alone. It is about watching the world tilt out of balance. After this episode, the story of Fallout will feel harsher, more personal, and far less forgiving. The most powerful part of the episode 6 trailer is not what explodes or who is chasing who. It is what you see on people's faces. Fear is no longer hidden behind jokes or confidence. It sits right there, open and heavy. Some characters look like they finally understand the cost of surviving in this world. That kind of realization changes people fast. When someone understands too much, they either break or become dangerous. The trailer suggests both outcomes are possible, and that uncertainty makes every moment feel tense. This is no longer a story about learning the wasteland. This is a story about being shaped by it. One character looks frozen in place, as if a truth just landed and took the air out of their lungs. That kind of moment usually means a secret has been exposed or a lie has collapsed. Episode 6 feels like the episode where secrets stop being useful. Secrets protect people until they don't, and when they fail, they cause damage on every side. The trailer hints that something long hidden is now impossible to ignore. Once that truth is out, relationships cannot stay the same. Trust does not slowly fade here. It shatters all at once. Another striking detail is how close everyone feels to crossing a line. You can see hesitation right before violence. Hands tighten, eyes harden, and people pause for just a second too long. That pause matters. It shows they know what they are about to do is wrong, but they also know the world may not give them another option. Episode 6 looks like the moment where morality becomes a luxury. Survival starts demanding actions that cannot be undone. Once those actions happen, there is no going back to who these characters were before. The trailer also suggests that guilt will play a big role in this episode. Some characters look like they are carrying weight from past choices. Choices that felt right at the time, but now look cruel or foolish. The Wasteland has a way of bringing those moments back at the worst possible time. Episode 6 feels like that. Reckoning. People are being forced to face the results of decisions they made earlier in the season. Not through speeches, but through consequences. Fallout has always been. There is also a growing sense of isolation in the trailer. Characters are often shown alone or separated from their groups. Even when they are near others, they feel emotionally distant. This tells us alliances are cracking. People are starting to think for themselves, even if it puts others at risk. In a world like this, isolation can be deadly, but it can also be freeing. Episode 6 looks like the moment where characters choose which one it will be. Do they stay loyal and possibly die? Or do they walk alone and live with the guilt? The emotional tension suggests that episode 6 is less about action and more about choice. Every look, every pause, every step forward feels heavy with meaning. The trailer is preparing us for moments that hurt, not just shock. It wants the audience to feel the weight of watching people change in real time. By the end of this episode, some characters may no longer recognize themselves, and others may realize they never truly knew the people beside them. This is why episode 6 feels like a breaking point. It is where emotions stop being background noise and start driving the story. The Wasteland does not just test strength. It tests who you are willing to become. After this episode, the journey inside Fallout will feel colder, more personal, and far more unforgiving than before. Episode 6 feels like the point where the season stops asking questions and starts delivering consequences. The trailer makes it clear that whatever happens next is not small or contained. This is the kind of episode that reshapes everything that comes after it. You can feel it in the way scenes are cut short, as if the show does not want to give the audience time to breathe. Moments end too quickly, conversations feel unfinished, and danger interrupts before clarity arrives. That tells us episode 6 is built on disruption. Plans will fail mid-step, and people will be forced to react instead of prepare. One of the strongest signals in the trailer is how final everything feels. Doors close with force, paths seem blocked, and characters look trapped by decisions already made. There is no sense of escape here. Even when someone is moving forward, it feels like they are being pushed rather than choosing the direction themselves. This creates the feeling that the story has reached a narrow bridge. Everyone has to cross it, but not everyone will make it to the other side. Episode 6 looks like the crossing point where the season commits to its darker path. The trailer also hints that power in the Wasteland is shifting. Characters who once felt in control now look uncertain, while others who stayed quiet before seem ready to act. Power in Fallout has never been about strength alone. It comes from information, timing, and the willingness to do what others cannot. Episode 6 feels like the moment when someone uses those things in a way that shocks everyone else. The trailer avoids showing the full act, which makes it even more intense. It suggests that the outcome matters more than the action itself. Once power shifts, it rarely shifts back. There is a strong sense that this episode will divide the season into a before and after. Everything earlier feels like setup compared to what is coming. The trailer points toward lasting damage, not quick fixes. Whatever is broken here will stay broken. Relationships will not simply heal, and trust will not magically return. Fallout has always treated damage as permanent. And episode 6 looks ready to push that idea harder than ever. When something is lost here, it is gone for good. Another important detail is how hope is treated. In earlier episodes, hope existed even in small ways. Characters believed they could outsmart the world or survive without losing themselves. The episode 6 trailer strips most of that away. Hope is replaced by urgency. People are not asking what the best choice is anymore. They are asking what choice keeps them alive right now. That shift is huge. It means the season is entering its most honest phase, where survival is no longer dressed up as heroism. By the end of episode 6, the story of Fallout is expected to feel heavier and more focused. The world will seem harsher, but also clearer. Characters will understand where they stand, even if they hate the answer. This episode is not about winning. It is about enduring what comes next. And once episode 6 is over, the path forward will be darker, simpler, and far more dangerous than anything the season has shown so far. Episode 6 looks like the moment when the Wasteland itself starts pushing back. The trailer suggests that the world is no longer just a background for conflict, but an active force making survival harder with every step. Storms, ruined paths, unstable ground, and broken structures all appear briefly, but they send a clear message. The environment is closing in. Characters are not only fighting people anymore. They are fighting time, decay, and a world that refuses to stay still. This makes episode 6 feel more intense because there is no safe direction to move toward. Every path carries risk. The trailer also hints that control is slipping from everyone's hands. Systems that once worked are failing. Signals cut out. Routes disappear. And plans fall apart without warning. In a world like this, control is power. And losing it creates fear fast. Episode 6 feels like a collapse of order. Even the small order. Characters manage to build for themselves. When order collapses, instinct takes over. People stop thinking long-term and start acting on impulse. That is when the worst mistakes are made. The trailer shows several moments where decisions seem rushed, and rushed choices in the Wasteland always leave scars. Another important layer is how alliances appear fragile. The trailer places characters side by side, but their body language tells a different story. They stand apart, avoid eye contact, and keep weapons ready even near allies. This suggests trust is nearly gone. Episode 6 looks like the episode where alliances are tested under real pressure, not through talk, but through survival situations. When resources run low and danger rises, people reveal their priorities. Some will protect others. Some will protect themselves. Fallout has always been honest about how thin loyalty can be when survival is on the line. The sense of escalation is also clear. Problems do not stay small in this episode. One mistake seems to lead directly to another, creating a chain reaction that keeps growing. The trailer jumps between scenes quickly, giving the feeling that events are spiraling out of control. This is not chaos for shock value. It is chaos with direction. Episode 6 feels like it is pushing all storylines forward at once, forcing them to collide. When storylines collide, something always breaks. That break usually shapes the rest of the season. There is also a quiet warning in the trailer about consequences spreading beyond the people who make the choices. Innocent spaces are affected. Neutral ground is no longer neutral. This suggests that episode 6 expands the cost of survival to everyone nearby. Fallout is reminding us that in a broken world, no action stays contained. One choice can hurt people who never had a say. That makes the episode feel heavier and more serious. It is no longer about personal survival alone. It is about the damage left behind. By the time episode 6 ends, the balance of the season is expected to shift completely. The Wasteland will feel more hostile, alliances weaker, and survival more desperate. Characters may still be alive, but they will not be the same. The episode appears to strip away comfort and illusion, leaving only hard truth behind. From this point forward in Fallout, survival will demand sharper choices, stronger sacrifices, and a willingness to live with the consequences. Episode 6 feels like the episode where fan theories stop feeling like fun guesses and start feeling uncomfortably possible. The trailer opens the door to ideas that were once easy to ignore, and now they are standing right in front of the story. One of the strongest feelings coming from these shots is that someone has been lying for a long time. Not a simple lie, but a lie built to protect a larger plan. Episode 6 looks like the moment when that plan begins to crack. When long-term lies break, they do not fall quietly. They take people down with them. The trailer also pushes the idea that a major reveal is coming, but not in a clean or satisfying way. Fallout rarely delivers answers without pain, and Episode 6 seems ready to follow that rule. Whatever truth comes out may solve one mystery, but it will create several new problems at the same time. That is why the reactions matter more than the reveal itself. Characters do not look relieved. They look shaken. That tells us the truth is not something they wanted. It is something they feared. There is also growing tension around loyalty. The trailer hints that someone may switch sides, not because they want power, but because they feel trapped. When survival and loyalty collide, Fallout always chooses survival. Episode 6 looks ready to show how fast loyalty can change when the pressure rises. This does not mean everyone becomes cruel. It means everyone becomes honest about what they are willing to lose. Some people will sacrifice others. Some will sacrifice themselves. Both choices leave damage behind. Another theory the trailer fuels is the idea of a false victory. Things may appear calm or successful for a short moment in Episode 6, but the tone suggests that calm will not last. Fallout often uses brief hope to make the next fall feel harder. The trailer's pacing supports this. Moments of quiet are quickly interrupted, as if the world refuses to allow peace. Episode 6 may end with characters thinking they survived, only to realize they made things worse. That kind of ending would fit perfectly with the mood being built.